redefining progress. First, we kill the economists, figuratively speaking. We prove that despite the almost religious difference society extends to them, they are not untouchable. We launch a global media campaign to discredit them. We show how their economic models are fundamentally flawed, how their scientifically managed cycles of growth and progress are wiping out the natural world. We reveal their science as a dangerous pseudoscience. We ridicule them on TV. We pop up in unexpected places like the local business news, on commercial breaks during the midnight movie, and randomly on national prime time. At the same time, we lay a trap for the G8 leaders. G8 leaders. Our campaign paints them as near-like figures, deluded kings unaware of the damage their deepening madness is doing. We demand to know why the issue of overconsumption in the first world is not even on their agenda. In the weeks leading up to their yearly summit meeting, we buy TV spots on stations around the world and ask, is economic progress killing the planet? Question mark. Bit by bit, we maneuver the leaders into a position where suddenly, in a worldwide press conference, they are forced to respond to questions like, Mr. President, how do you measure economic progress? How do you tell if the economy is robust or sick? End quote. Then we wait for them to give some pat answer about rising GDP, and that will be the decisive moment. We will have given our leaders a simple pop quiz and they will have flunked. This escalating war of nerves with the heads of state at the top jaw of our strategic pincer. The bottom jaw of the pincer is the work that goes on at the grassroots level, where neoclassical dogma is still being propagated every day. Within university economics departments worldwide, a wholesale mind shift is about to take place. The tenured professors who run those departments and keepers of the neoclassical flame are as proud and stubborn as high alpine goats. And they don't take well to being challenged. But challenge them we must, fiercely and with conviction that we are the right and they are wrong. At critical times throughout history, university students have sparked massive protests, called their leaders on their lies, and steered their nations in brave new directions. It happens on campuses around the world in the 1960s, and from recently in Korea, China, and Indonesia. Now that we have reached another critical historical moment, are the students up to it? Can they chase the old goats out of power? Will they be able to catalyze the paradigm shift in the science of economics and jam the doomsday machine? Question mark. With a monkey wrench. Go on to the next one. The soulless corporation. A corporation has no soul or morals. It cannot feel, cannot love, or pain, or remorse. You cannot argue with it. A corporation is nothing but a process, an efficient way of generating revenue. We demonize corporations for their unwavering pursuit of growth, power, and wealth. Let's face it, they are simply carrying out genetic orders. This is exactly what corporations were designed by us to do. Trying to rehabilitate a corporation, urging it to behave responsibly, is a fool's game. The only way to change the behavior of a corporation is to recode it, rewrite its charter, reprogram it. In 1886, the U.S. Supreme Court brought down a decision that changed the course of American history. In Santa Clara County versus Southern Pacific Railroad, a dispute over a railroad route, the judge ruled that a private corporation was a natural person. under the U.S. Constitution and therefore entitled the protection under the Bill of Rights. The judgment was one of the greatest legal blunders of the century. 60 years after it was inked, Supreme Court Justice William O. Douglas said of Santa Clara that it, quote, could not be supported by history, logic, or reason, end quote. With Santa Clara, we granted corporations personhood and the same rights and privileges as private citizens. But given their vast financial resources, corporations now had far more rights and powers than any private citizen. In a single legal stroke, the whole intent of the Constitution, that all citizens have one vote and exercise an equal voice in public debates, had been undermined. In 1886, we the people lost control of our affairs and sowed the seeds of the corporate state we now live in. There is only one way to regain control. We must challenge the corporate I in the courts and ultimately reverse Santa Clara. It will be a long and vicious battle for the soul of America. Will the people or corporations prevail? In the next century, we will live and work on planet Earth or planet Inc. Incorporated, question mark. The critical task will be for each of us to relearn how we think and act as sovereign citizens. Let us start by doing something so bold it chills the spine of corporate America. Let's make an example of the biggest corporate criminal in the world. Let's take on Philip Morris Incorporated. Getting the truth out, applying pressure, and never letting up until the state of New York revokes the company's charter. These are all products of a tobacco company.
Yeah, they're still having their decisions made by large...
Of Philip Morris. You are buying tobacco or tobacco product influence when you buy these products.
An average of a 90-day period of $1.2 billion a day. So that is in 3 months they spent $100